Okay, welcome back to the YouTube channel. As ever, I'm Jake from Jake Mees Coaching. You can find me on socials at JakeMees_coaching. If you haven't seen Instagram, go check it out. And I'm back again to give you more of the fitness BS, real talks, cutting through all the guff, all the shit out there, so you know exactly what you need to be doing and exactly how you can get to where you want to be with your fitness, nutrition, and your training goals. So this week, we're going to be talking through cheat meals, a tale as old as time. They are such an outdated approach to dieting. You'll have come across these loads, probably from blokes in the gym. Dieting all week, gets to the weekend, it's cheat day. It's time for a cheat meal. Usually comes on a leg day because, you know, gains. And it usually comes in the form of a big burger or a big pizza and some cookies and one thing and another. We're going to be talking through if this is actually the best way to approach dieting, if this is actually going to help your metabolism, because you know, cheat meals boost metabolism for dieting the next week, or so they say. And we're going to talk about potentially what the best option is going to be when it comes to dieting and what I do with my clients. But before we jump into any of that, as ever, just don't forget, go like the video, subscribe to the channel, share this onto your socials, tell your mates. I want this plastered everywhere, so share it about all over the place, tag me in it. Once you've done all that, let's get on with the rest of this episode. Okay, so cheat meals. You tend to find a lot in the sort of old school bodybuilding style of dieting. You'll stick to a set meal plan all week. It's probably going to be chicken, it's probably going to be rice, probably going to be a bit of broccoli, probably a couple of rice cakes thrown in there, a bit of salmon on toast, whatever. You're going to stick to that all week, have nothing else, but it's all okay, because at the end of the week, you get a cheat meal. You get to have whatever you want for that meal. Usually you're going to get told to put it on a leg day to help with your leg workout or to help with recovery from your leg workout. You're usually going to get told, and I have literally had people tell me that their past coaches have told them to go nuts on their cheat day, to literally have whatever they want. So cheat meals literally become a free-for-all. Like literally people go well too far with them. And instead of just having the meal, they'll have the meal plus cookies, plus a bit of cake, plus a milkshake. They might even have something a little bit later on. They might have even had a meal before that. Like, it gets well out of hand. People just end up going on some mad binge. Now, physical aspects aside, this is not going to be a healthy approach for your relationship with food. You're teaching yourself to overly restrict through the week, only for then on the weekend to allow you to go absolutely nuts and eat whatever the hell you want because it's going to help fat loss. This is only going to cause you problems with your relationship with food down the line that I have actually seen play out in multiple different people, even going as far as people developing eating disorders and so on. And you're going to get told that it's okay because it boosts your metabolism, so it's going to help you lose fat for the next week. Well, if that was the case, why don't you do it twice a week? Logic would dictate if doing it once a week is going to help me lose body fat for the remainder of the week. Well, what if I did it twice a week? Maybe I'm going to lose twice as much body fat. No, it doesn't happen. You don't see people binging on cheat meals every single day and they're super lean. You don't see bodybuilding athletes sponsored by McDonald's, sponsored by KFC, sponsored by Burger King. There's a reason why. So here's what I do when it comes to my own dieting and helping my clients diet. I use something called Refeeds. So this is a much more controlled version of giving them a few more calories over a couple of days. It gives us control still over what we're eating. So yes, we're eating more. Yes, we can be a little bit more flexible with what those food choices are going to be, but it's still within control. We still know exactly what's going on and we're still hitting it towards a target. And the reason that one of the main reasons to do this is because you can split the refeed over 2 to 3 days. Research has literally shown that a 1 day cheat meal, cheat day, whatever you want to call it, even a 1 day refeed, does not do anything for your hunger hormones or your energy or anything like that for the few days following. Does nothing. Whereas it's shown that if you can have back-to-back subsequent days, so a refeed split over 2 days, even 3 days if you want, that is going to really help drop your hunger hormones for some significant time after that refeed period. So it's going to make dieting easier for 2, 3, 4 days after that refeed period. It's going to increase your energy, increase your training performance. It's going to help you get a bit of a better pump in the gym. It's going to make life much easier. So I'll give my clients refeeds where they still have set macronutrient targets to hit. And the biggest reason that I do this is so that I can give them more carbohydrates, but keep their fats nice and low. And there's 2 reasons for doing that. The first one is higher carbohydrates are going to help with improved training performance, improved recovery. It's going to help them feel fuller for longer, so reducing those hunger hormones down. It's going to make dieting a little bit easier. And also, we typically like the foods that are higher in carbohydrates, so it's going to give them a few more of the foods that they enjoy. Second of all, I keep their fats low because this is going to stop them from being able to go out and get the massive burger, the massive pizza, the stuff that they don't necessarily need to have. I've done full preps before, 16 weeks, 20 weeks, without a single burger, without a single pizza. I still got lean. I didn't need them to boost my metabolism along the way, and so have my clients. You don't need it. But controlled refeeds, planned in and measured every now and again, can be very, very useful for simply improving energy and reducing hunger. And not only that, like, if you've ever done a cheat meal, and I'm talking from a point of view, like, I've done all this, right? I've done the dieting on chicken, brown rice and broccoli Monday to Friday to have a big pizza and whatever at the weekend. Like, I have done all of this. So I'm talking from experience. It leaves you feeling sluggish, heavy and lethargic. You feel like crap the next day. Your digestion's all over the place. You're bloated. Your training feels slow. Everything feels heavier. It just causes you to overly restrict through the week so that you can go nuts on the weekend with a cheat meal and probably end up consuming 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 calories. Surely the better idea from a physical and a mental health point of view would be to take some of those calories out of that cheat meal, put them back into the rest of the week, so that the rest of the week's easier. Your dieting is easier. You're not having to be as strict with your dieting because you've got more calories on a daily basis. Then at the end of the week, you can have a few more calories through a controlled refeed. Look, surely that makes more sense, right? So day to day, you're having a few more calories, a little bit more to eat. You're not having to restrict quite as much. You're still losing the same amount of body fat across the week as a whole. It just means that on your refeed days, you're not going to the extremes of 4,000, 5,000 calories from burgers, chips, pizzas, all that kind of crap, which there is nothing wrong with, but you do not want to be over-restricting to overindulge. That is a recipe for disaster, and it is something that can potentially cause eating disorders down the line. And look, I would love for cheat meals to be the solution, right? I would love for cheat meals to be the thing, because I like pizza, I like burgers. Like, I would love for that to be the best way to lose body fat, but it's not. And if it was, I would tell you, because I'd be doing it myself, I'd be getting my clients to do it, and I would want you to know too. But unfortunately, that is not the case. Refeeds are always going to be the better option. And yes, it requires a little bit more planning. It requires a little bit more adherence. You can't quite go crazy. But if it's going to give you more energy, it's going to reduce your hunger and make dieting easier for the rest of the week. It's going to improve your understanding and knowledge around nutrition. It's going to reduce the chances of you developing an eating disorder. Surely it's the better solution, just a thought. So that is what I do with my clients. When they are dieting, when we notice that energy starts to significantly drop, hunger's very high, we will work in refeeds over a 2 to 3 day period. We do not use cheat meals. They are outdated, they are dangerous, and you do not need to be using them whatsoever, okay? So I hope you found this episode useful. As ever, like the video, subscribe to the channel, share this with your mates, click the notifications bell, all that jazz, get it done, and I will see you next week in the next episode. You can't tell me the deck is stacked.